everybody.
We do this a lot.
Yeah, way too fucking much. It's good to see everybody again. We are here for the Raw breakdown for the Wrestling Through the Years group. I am Dizzle, and I'm here with the big Dutchy Wizzle and the big E Sizzle. How you doing, Eric?
What's up?
MoneyE's here, Dutchy's in the building. I'm here. We're here to talk some wrestling. We're here to make love, and we're here to chew bubble gum. And I'm all out of bubble gum, and I'm all out of whatever the first one was. So,
Unbutton the shirt.
there you go. But no, button it back up. You're scaring everybody.
No, if I took my shirt off, would we get in trouble with YouTube or something?
You'd be in trouble with me. Yeah, probably.
Especially since I would probably rub my man boobs all over you.
Yeah, especially since you're like a C. You might get a little. If I fucking go, we're on Pornhub immediately. It'd be an exclusive. But so we're here. We're here for the Wrestling Through the Years breakdown, where we talk about the current stuff, and we're breaking down last night's episode of Raw, the February 10th edition of Monday Night Raw,
2025.
2025. And where was it, Doug? What building?
It was in Nashville, Tennessee.
Where the Nashville Predators play.
Yep.
It was in Nashville. And I think they did a really good
Nashville.
job. Another good episode. I don't know how they're getting these crowds, man. These people love everything they fucking do. Jey Uso can come out and fart in the microphone and people fucking and I'm liking it still. Like it's not like it's I'm falling off from it. But there's some things that happen during a match where I'm like, oh. And the crowd's like, oh, yeah! And they're loving it. And it's great. And that's what you want for the product, and that's what you want for live wrestling. Because live wrestling's that's why no one wants to go back and watch Pandemic. A crowd really makes a fucking show. The excitement, the whatever. That's when you're watching at home and fucking this is awesome chant pops up, or the fucking slam and or when everybody gasps at something. Those moments really help make wrestling. So you need a good crowd. And they've been having really hot crowds that love that product and will do anything to see that product and fucking really enjoy everything they do. And all the big stars they put out there, the Jays, the Rheas, the Codys, the Romans, they're receptive to them all. There's only a few guys on the roster that are not over. And like in the sense of like getting crowd recognition. There's only a few guys that the crowd is really dry for. But I don't want to keep picking on the guns.
Yeah.
But also, like, I've really liked the work that Michin's done. I like that Mia Yim's been given a shot on SmackDown. I really enjoy when she comes out in the matches. The little feud she's had with Chelsea Green, I've thought was really good shit. But the crowd, when she comes out, a little dead compared to the rest of the baby faces. She's one of the baby faces that don't really get a reaction. B-Fab's another. But she gets presented more than B-Fab. And, she really doesn't get that big fucking, that big pop that a lot of the other baby faces get. Because we're in an era where all the baby faces are getting pretty big pops. You're not getting those angry crowds as much as you used to. You're not getting you and Cleneth in 2015. You're not getting I don't want to bring it back. I think Doug did 20 minutes on that last week. But I
think it clocked in at that, yeah.
And welcome to the show, Cleneth. See money on the first ever his first ever breakdown. We're breaking down yesterday. We haven't really gotten into it yet. But
yeah. Oh man.
I was talking about how the crowd loves everything right now. Like WWE can do anything and the crowd's fucking with it, it seems like.
Oh, of course it does. You can see that every time they show on.
Yeah. They can do something can be not that impressive and the crowd's impressed. And they're fucking cheering and through the roof, and they keep that excitement the whole card. And we remember, the era I grew up in, the ruthless aggression era, and then you get into 2011 where no one's making a fucking sound. like big moments are happening and no one gives a shit, and everyone's just on their phones or not giving a fuck. I felt like the pop was gone for a while.
I remember
for a couple of years there.
I remember back in 2005 we went to a house show in Buffalo. It was the Road to WrestleMania tour or some shit. and it was you, me, the sister, grandpa, and
Yes.
and we go. And the first match of the night was Funaki and Scotty 2 Hotty versus Eminem, because this is before Eminem had made their TV debut.
Oh, so they were still working them out.
They were still working them out at the house shows. Funaki's and Funaki's music was the first music to hit, and he got the pop because his was the first music, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like throughout the night, it's just like you really didn't have a lot of the big stars. I mean, you had Eddie and Ray; they were there.
Booker T was there
No, he wasn't. Was he?
at the house show we went, the SmackDown ECW, or a different one?
No, this was just a regular SmackDown. This was 05.
Did we go?
Yeah.
Oh,
You, me, Kenny Lee.
was Daniel.
Oh, man.
No, I wasn't pointing at you. I was pointing at him.
was that the one Mindy was there for?
Mindy was there. Kenny Lehman went with us to this one. Kenny West went with us to SmackDown
I don't
ECW.
I remember vaguely now. Okay.
Uh,
And Funaki got the big pop of the night.
Yeah, pretty much because he was the first one to come out. And then, because, you had kind of shitty matches like fucking Heidenreich versus Charlie Haas. And, you had Eddie and Ray versus the Bashams. You had the main event, which was John Cena and Big Show versus Orlando Jordan and JBL. And that was supposed to be the main event. It only lasted like 10 seconds. So then Cena and JBL went in. Cena actually debuted the My Time Is Now music there.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And that was at the Road to WrestleMania tour, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that what they called it?
Yeah. March of 2005.
I was too young to really.
Yeah, you were 7?
I just remember Kenny talking up Big Show, and then he never admitted it after. I was like, "You were a fan of Big Show that day?" He's like, "No, I wasn't."
Yeah.
But all right. So we're here. Yeah. So and sometimes the crowd can turn. We've seen wrestling crowds go a different variety different of ways, but in the past couple years of the Triple H era, they kind of go wherever they want them to go. And they really care about the baby faces, and they really hate the heels. And, it's heaven for you. And for, the guys that like that, that's how wrestling should be, And, it works. And I think it's really doing them a lot of favors right now, to the fact that where you have all this online hate for Jey Uso, similar to, like other guys in the past. But it's not getting into the buildings at all. None of those guys that are typing are walking into the arenas because all I see are hands going like fucking this.
Well,
So-
a lot of those guys that are typing aren't going into the arenas because they can't afford a ticket because they can barely afford to pay to get out of their mother's basement.
Right. But I'm not here to and listen, I'm fully I'm definitely down to talk shit about the wrestling community.
No, I'm
the
just
fans.
saying we don't have to talk. We don't, because then I'll go on a tangent.
Yeah,
and
but-
then we don't need that.
Yeah, we need Happy Duck. Happy Duck today. Happy Duck.
Yeah. But I'm just saying is that those are the people that.
Yeah, and listen, everybody, we have a show where we voice our opinions no matter how stupid people think they are. So I am I don't mind the armchair quarterback because we do it. You if you pay your ticket, if you pay for Peacock, if you pay for whatever the fuck, you're allowed to voice your opinion on that. I don't care about that. I'm just saying a lot of the hate that I've seen online about Jey Uso and why the fuck did this guy win the Rumble and all this shit, I'm not seeing on TV because the crowd loves him. Everyone's eating, everyone's cheering. I have not heard the crowd. I haven't even that's dying down a little bit. That has not happened.
No,
Every time he comes out, it's electric. And if they can keep that up, it was a good move for them. This turned out to be a good move because you accomplish a couple things. One, you make Gunther's title mean a little more because someone won the Royal Rumble to challenge him. Because it's hard for anybody to explain winning the Rumble and not going for Cody in the undisputed belt. It doesn't make sense, really. But for Gunther and Jay and him beating him a few times, it does make sense. It sets that story up. He's the underdog. He's the Buffalo Bills. He get it. So they went in that direction. So it accomplishes that. 2, Elimination Chamber seems twice as big now because we're gonna have a stacked chamber match with John Cena, Punk, and AJ Styles and all these fucking.
Well, not AJ because there's only gonna be 6 in.
Oh, I could have swore AJ won his match. No.
No, AJ didn't wrestle.
Oh, I thought AJ was in it.
No, because next week the last qualifier is Seth Rollins and Finn Balor.
Okay, but fucking yeah, and well, Logan Paul's in the match. I don't know how stacked it is. But a really good chamber match. It makes that seem more exciting now. And I think that'll be a big deal. And it really opens up WrestleMania and Cody in that main event. Like, everyone thought the Rumble was the be-all, end-all, and it's not. And that's okay. And we have the rest of the road to WrestleMania to be excited for stuff. So I think they accomplished a lot by giving that upset win to Jey Uso.
And then, like, they're even trying to make the the Raws and SmackDowns feel special because, like, they've already got a match, signed for the Raw after Elimination Chamber, which is going to be in Buffalo, by the way, where it's going to be Io versus Rhea.
That's going to be fantastic.
By the way, I think it's the first time, and Cleneth, you might be able to correct me on this if I'm wrong, or at least I hope it's you. I'm pretty sure that this is the first time the two of them have had a one-on-one match since NXT, right?
Rhea and Charlotte?
No, Rhea and Io.
Io.
Yeah, I think it is the very first time. I haven't seen seen this in a very long time.
Rhea was injured.
Yeah, Rhea been injured, so this is the very first match they're having since NXT.
Yeah.
Because Io was on SmackDown last year. Too.
Yeah, and by the way, Io, when Io won the NXT Women's title back in 2020, she beat Rhea.
Yeah.
Now, again, we all know that Rhea is going to retain or whatever. It's still going to be a good match, and they're still building a little bit. They're building a little bit there. And the fact that they're giving it 3 weeks to build.
I like those two as friends, though. I like them celebrating together in War Games and stuff. And I don't know. I enjoyed those two together. But I like that it's turned into like, hey, you fucked me over last week. And like, hey, I'm coming for you. And that's what Io said. And I like how Rhea's like, listen, I don't owe you shit. And it's like, kind of do. You fucked her over. And you're doing the right thing by giving her the title shot, but don't say you don't owe her anything. You kind of do owe her. Io didn't do anything wrong. You did something wrong. Io just got pissed. And I don't blame her for it. I'd be pissed too. You're my homie and you just fucking fucked me over. And now Liv Morgan's going to the Elimination Chamber. You asshole. And I mean, I love Rhea Ripley. I love what they're doing. Her and Io is going to be a fantastic match. Her and Charlotte's going to be a fantastic match, unless they go the Tiffy route, which I think might be a better route.
All right, so if they go the Tiffany Charlotte route, who wins the chamber to face Rhea at WrestleMania? Is it Bianca?
Yes.
I'm going to say
that's what you're going?
That's what I would do.
I'm going to say my girl.
Bianca and Rhea has never happened, right? Or did it happen in NXT?
It's happened in NXT, but it hasn't happened on the main roster yet.
Yeah, and those are, and by the way, from both of them from NXT to now and how far they've came, these are two of your biggest blockbuster women attractions. And you've had Bianca doing the tag shit for way too long now. She is a star that needs to be in a main event situation. And her and fucking Rhea Ripley are the perfect combination. I think they need. I know it's babyface versus babyface, but still, I think there's a lot of money in that.
But all right, so what's the timeline of Jay Cargill coming back then? Because
maybe Nia fucks, or maybe Naomi, fucks Bianca at WrestleMania, and that's because I think Naomi did it, and I think they're just stalling on that heel turn, but they want to do a heel turn for that Naomi because no other situation makes sense. And fucking Bailey's on Raw now, so why the fuck would she have? Why would she be the one?
And Eric, you just said you're going with your girl to win Elimination Chamber?
Yeah.
All right. Well, you have so many girls. You're like a pimp. Who are you talking about?
oh god,
Bailey.
No.
Eric's a pimp.
I mean,
Big
could
Booty
be.
Bailey. Of course.
I can imagine him in a hat and a fur coat.
Have you guys seen that video of her when Nia Jax talking about her ass?
Yeah.
And her response was, I've gained a little weight and it went straight to my cheeks, but I'm proud of that weight and I'm proud of my cheeks. And I thought that was a great response.
I'm proud of her cheeks too.
That's my girl.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't see that if they're gonna give it to a baby face, they're gonna give it to Bianca, I think.
Well, Bailey, they always try to keep her hot.
Yeah.
So you never know. Bailey's always somebody that that's an option they could go with. Seems like they're going
I think they could
Roxanne.
turn I think they could turn her back heel.
Yeah, so
I mean, I don't think
it's time for the heel turn again.
to me the money match, if Liv wins, what are we doing here? But I think the money match is Bianca and Rhea, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Alexa and Rhea doesn't do anything for me. Alexa's on SmackDown
And
now.
it's either gonna be so Friday night on SmackDown, we're getting Naomi and Chelsea. And I don't think they're ready to put Chelsea Green in a
No, she's the U.S. champion. She doesn't need to be that yet.
And Roxanne and Raquel's next week. And I don't like, I see Roxanne moving on.
Well, and that's the thing. Roxanne and Bailey are going to get each other eliminated somehow.
Yeah.
One's going to eliminate the other, and then the other one's going to fuck the other one over. So, I kind of cancel them out. You know how whenever you got a big feud going into one of these, you know both guys in the feud probably won't leave with the title.
Yeah.
And that's probably the direction they're going to go. But we'll see. It'll be a fun chamber regardless. The men's one, I think, is clearly going to Cena.
You think? I don't know.
Listen, dude. They're going to do, especially now that they got McIntyre fucking with Priest, I guess.
Which, hold on, they're backstage. There's actually fans online saying that that's stupid. They don't want to see it. So now Triple H is just like, you know what? Maybe this isn't a good idea.
Well, I've been saying I know what they want to do. Punk, Roman, and Rollins, because that is a fucking big money.
That's money.
Threat. But you could add Drew to that and make that fatal four-way mean just as much. Make an elimination match.
Or make it a tag. Make it Rollins and McIntyre versus Punk and Roman.
Fully turn Rollins heel.
Yeah.
I wouldn't hate it.
I still think they might do Punk and I go back to that promo they did together 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Go ahead, Cleneth.
I'm still gonna say
Punk. So if you ask me, and I've been saying this for like weeks with my best friend, I really think that Rollins is going to reform the Shield with KO and Drew McIntyre. He's going to go after Roman and Punk, and all these demons are so far sitting in. They're just going to release. We see it sneaking. We saw it sneak out the Royal Rumble with the 3-way with him attack going off on both Punk and Rollins, and then with Sami Zayn, he just can't take it anymore. This thing with Roman, for some odd reason, it has to end. I don't understand. I don't understand why there's so much backlash between the two. I mean, yeah, after the whole like 2020 incident and whatnot, and him not winning the title, but to hold that in for so long and then revisit it and then act like what happened last year, it's like, yes, you lost your tag match, but you after that, he took a chair right in your back for a reason.
I can definitely see that. That's genius almost. I can see them doing that. A new age Shield with KO, because they've teased a union with KO and Drew in the past.
Yeah.
So those three, those two and Rollins, I could see. But then what do you do? Do you do a 6-man and add Sammy to the fray? Is Sammy a big enough star to tag with Roman and Punk against those three?
Well, it's either.
I don't think if we keep going that way, I believe that right now we're looking at Sammy versus KO 1-on-1.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Well, Cleneth, let me run. Well, I'll run this by all you guys, not just Cleneth. I mean, I want him to answer first, if it's okay. But What about like because they're teasing this whole thing with mid-card Cross, and they just took his fat boys away. The fat boys and the old fart. What if like it ends up forming not necessarily like the 3-man shield, but what if it's like we end up with like an anti-Roman group, which is Rollins and Cross and McIntyre and Owens.
I don't.
I can see that.
My question, all right, and here's my rebuttal. And I want to know because I don't see where Cross like fits into the whole.
Because he keeps trying to get up Sami Zayn's ass.
Yeah, but he done that with he done that with the Miz. He's just doing it, but I just don't see Cross fitting into the whole anti-Roman situation. Because
I mean, I don't want it. I'm just saying is that like because I don't like Karrion Cross. I think this whole like fucking Jim Jones bullshit. Like, and when he's told to fuck off, he's like, "You don't want to tell me to fuck off. You don't want to have me as a problem." It's like we don't even want you on the fucking roster. Go with AOP. Like, because I have a bad feeling that they're trying to build Sami Zayn versus Karrion Cross at WrestleMania, and I think that is such a downturn for Sami.
It is, but you need to build guys too. I can see them doing that as well, but I can see that so they can elevate Cross. And I don't see the group happening because the group. The other three have clear connections to Roman, whereas Karrion really doesn't.
Right.
Karrion really hasn't because he doesn't have that big time. You know, he did it in NXT and he's rubbed shoulders a little bit, but he hasn't he doesn't have the storyline purposes to do. And if he was in that, he would have to be the leader because that's his role. And he would never be the leader of those three.
Not those three.
So,
No.
But I see what you're saying, and I agree with you that they are probably building towards that match with him and Sami.
Which sucks for Sami Zayn. And I get it. You're trying to build Karrion Cross, but to be honest with you, I wouldn't even build a wax figure of him unless it's like in the Liberty Mutual commercial where the fucking thing melts.
Yeah, I mean, I disagree. You know, there is good Karrion Cross in my opinion.
Where?
NXT. NXT.
All right, we'll send him back there.
NXT with the shaved head, he was fucking amazing. I think he had his great shit there, and his independent stuff was amazing too. So, they're just trying to do this devil's advocate, like fucking the Sean O'Hare thing with him.
Do you always have to think with your dick?
Yeah.
No, I'm just joking. I was just saying that.
But
that's why he's got his camera off. It's because he's masturbating, thinking of Scarlett.
No,
Listen. Karrion's not the problem for me. So Karrion rubbing shoulders, I would not mind because he is not the issue for me. It's what he's been surrounded with. Because him being this leader and shit and working with the Miz, you know, on the underneath shit has not really done anything. Him getting in Woods' ears forever and, you know, and Woods and Kofi turned heel and Karrion wasn't there to be like, we did it, boys. Like, Karrion has nothing to do with that.
Unless he aligns with them now because he's got nothing. I mean, they're gone.
Yeah.
He could technically align with them now. It would be dumb.
Yeah, I mean, the Final Testament was a bust, but I do think there is something you can get out of Karrion Cross. I really do. He has a lot of potential, and he has good work in the past. I agree with you that his main roster stuff has not been good. But I don't know if that's entirely his fault. I think it's a lot of the shit he was given. That match with Bobby Lashley, like, what was he supposed to do at WrestleMania to make that better? And AOP were the shit as a tag team. So, like, what is...
I mean, when he first came back and did the stuff with McIntyre, that stuff was good.
Yeah. When he's presented in that with top guys, he can be good. So, I don't know if him and Zayn... Because what else do you do with Zayn? Because you're in this position to where he's like a top enough guy to challenge for the world title, and that's kind of what he needs to do. You already explored the Braun Breaker shit way too much. You don't need to ship him to SmackDown. Like, what do you really do with him? And all your other guys are fucking preoccupied. If you do this triple threat, if you do it a fatal four-way, if you do it a tag, he doesn't fit into any of that stuff. So you need something for him besides a KO match.
Because the way I would see like a 6-man working at WrestleMania, it would be McIntyre, Rollins, and KO versus Punk, Roman, and Orton. Because you got to fit Randy Orton in there somehow, unless Randy Orton really is hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, you've had 2 opportunities to bring him back now when he hasn't come back. So I don't know if
last year's WrestleMania too, right?
Huh?
He was at WrestleMania last year, but
he tagged with KO. He did the
it was a triple threat. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. No.
And that's where him and KO really started kind of exploring their friendship.
That was so much fun.
And then so like you have Orton now, like you gotta somehow put Orton in there. So that's why I think they would go with Orton. Again, unless Orton's actually hurt, then you would fit Sammy in there.
Yeah.
Because if you look at some of the other stuff that's going on, I mean, over on the SmackDown side, you know that Solo and Jacob Fatu are going to end up working.
Yeah.
You know, maybe Damian Priest, maybe if they don't do Drew and Damian Priest, that'll open Damian up maybe for Nakamura and taking the title.
Yeah.
Which I would not mind that.
But and that's the other side of the.
But then what do you do with Braun Strowman?
I like Drew and Damian or heel.
He faced AJ last night.
I like heel Drew versus babyface Damian. I think that could be. It just doesn't make sense right now because this whole bloodline killer has been such a fun, cool story that it's like I want to see him going after Roman and Punk and those guys. I mean, I want to see him in the top picture, and him and Damian, like I think that could elevate Damian and really help him. And I think Damian has done nothing but rise and rise. After he won that world title, he's gotten better and better and better and better.
Yep.
After he lost the title, he got better and better and better and better. But it does feel like a bit of a downgrade for Drew in this situation because it seems like he should be in the mix with the top.
Yeah. If you ask me, I think he probably should win Chamber.
Braun Strowman wasn't fired.
Yeah, but Braun might have been.
Braun was let go before he came back. They let him go.
No, Braun Strowman was part of those cuts the other day?
Oh, no.
Let's make sure this isn't real.
Oh, no, he wasn't. I was talking about before that. I'm like, yeah, he wasn't fired. I know he was let go like back in the day, a couple of years ago before he brought him back.
Yeah, well, we have somebody in the chat that just said he's fired, which is stupid because he's supposed to be part of. No, he wasn't, Kenny. He's part of the. He's part of the triple threat match on Friday.
Did he say yes? You were?
Yeah,
he's still in the company, Kenny. All right, let's start breaking down Raw. We start out with Jey Uso, and we get another 10 minutes of yeeting. I had a lot of excitement.
I'm sorry, I had to fast forward it a little bit.
It's okay. We had
we know how you feel about Jay.
It was getting annoying for me, but that's just me.
Well, yeah, I mean, when you're doing it for 10 minutes, I can understand 5 minutes.
Yeah. 5 minutes was fine.
Kenny, YouTube guys are fucking stupid. We should know. We are YouTube guys.
I think he's trolling us.
Eric, it's a great point, though. And because if you're there, if you're alive, if you're in that crowd, it's magic and it's amazing. After seeing it on TV so many times, the allure does go away. People aren't changing the channel. People aren't really leaving Netflix from what I've heard. So it's not like it's doing them a detriment. But for you watching a television show, just watching this for fucking 10 minutes. And it's cool for a while. When he wins a match, it's fucking cool. But to open the show, you're sitting there like, all right. Okay. Yeet.
I do.
See, I enjoy it though. I've been enjoying it a lot. I eat.
It is fun.
I'm doing a Pat McAfee and Michael Cole.
I looked over and fucking Doug was doing it on Monday. in his underwear.
Oh god, that had to be a sight. I'm sorry for your eyes.
Thank you.
Well, luckily he didn't walk in on me upstairs because I was doing it upstairs naked.
Oh god. We are on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
Not for
As
long.
long as I don't do it, I can talk about doing it on. I can talk about doing it on YouTube. I just can't do it on YouTube.
All right,
Oh,
I'm gonna
God.
go with Kenny on this one.
No, you.
No, yeah, it is fun to watch, but you do start to be like, all right, can we start talking? Oh, now he's fucking gassed from the from walking down. Now we gotta wait another 4 minutes. And then and it was cool that the fact he went on the table and Gunther was. It's a little bit of a contrast from last week where Gunther's like, "You're not on my level. I don't even want you to challenge me. You know, this does nothing for my legacy." And then this week he's like, "I'm gonna beat the shit out of you.
Yeah,
And I'm gonna make you challenge me, bitch."
Yep.
Yeah,
And that's basically what happened. But I like that Gunther's like, I'm professional. I'm a real world champion. I don't do this theatric bullshit. And then Jay flying over the rope, and that was all good shit. And even though, like I said, WWE, that's the only problem with the product in Triple H's booking nowadays, is that there's a pull apart every fucking episode of whatever they're doing. Every fucking live team, if it's Raw or SmackDown, once every episode, you will see two people in a feud get in a fight. Jason Jordan and Jamie Noble and all the producers come down and pull them apart. Them go in the corner, the heels in the corner, then the babyface runs up and jumps and fucking. It's the same thing all the fucking time. That's the one thing that they do over and over and over again. And it is starting to get a little overkill. That is my only real critique with the product. Besides that, I think they're doing a great job. I think Triple H really has his fucking he knows what he's doing. He's the fucking man. But that, it's like, it's every fucking episode. And it's either Nick Aldis or fucking Pierce or one of them fucking yelling while fucking they're fighting. And it's the same thing every time.
Yep, I noticed that too.
But Gunther and Jay made it look a little better. And I get it. If two people are why wouldn't you have the back come out? Like, it makes sense logically, but it's also like, just let them fucking go at it. This is a wrestling show. Just fucking stay back there. Like, I'm seeing Jason Jordan more than fucking Cody and Rhea Ripley and all these big stars. Like, why the fuck do we need the producers out fucking you're pulling them apart every fucking night? That is my only real critique. But I like the way they set this up with Jay and Gunther, and I think that's going to be a fun night one WrestleMania main event.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree with
There's
that.
no way they're giving it night two.
And
No way. They
and
will
does
not
Jay-
put. Go ahead.
Does Jay need to win?
No.
I've heard a lot of people say he needs to win.
No, he doesn't. He's a baby face that will recover. The same amount of people will eat Monday, whether he wins or not.
I mean, I think he doesn't need it, but I think he should.
Get his WrestleMania moment.
Because I'd like to see. Because remember, 2 years ago he was in the main event of night one of WrestleMania. They didn't win. Last year he had the stinker with his brother. He needs to win this. He needs to recover from what happened last year.
Yeah. The only bright spot from last year
already
was
has.
night two when he came in to help Cody.
He's fully recovered from last year.
Man. I haven't gotten over that stinker, yo. That was one match that would really let me down last year.
Well, there was enough good shit on that card.
Was that the worst brother match?
Yes, it was.
On
No, I'd still give it to Matt and Jeff.
I was gonna say Matt and Jeff is up there too.
That at least had a little. Well, listen. I mean, the best one is Brett and Owen, and it's not close.
No, that's not even close.
No, nobody can match that.
And if you're not doing WrestleMania, it's Double or Nothing 2019, Cody and Dustin. It's that and Brett and Owen, and that's the best brother versus brother that you could ever get.
Yep.
Because that matches up. That's not WrestleMania, but it fucking feels like it. And when the whole crowd's chanting Dusty and all that good shit, we watched it again recently for the show. That is a magic moment and a magic match.
Cody Dustin was the closest thing to Brett and Owen.
It's probably still the best thing that AEW's ever done. But, I would give it to Brett and Owen. Jeff and Matt was a bit disappointing, and so was this. But, I mean, like, there was so much good stuff on that card that I got over it.
Yeah.
You know?
That
but
was night one, right?
it was a
Yeah.
sticker. Yeah, it was night one. It was night one, right, Doug? Or was it night two?
Yeah, I wasn't there for that match. Night two. Because I still say night two was better than night one, but
Well, yeah, because night one, nobody wanted to fucking be there because there was only like 10 degrees outside. I mean, it was warmer in Alaska than it was in Philadelphia that day. For Christ's sake!
yeah, I know. I know a lot of people that went. Not a lot of people, but Cleneth, you went to night one too, right?
Cleneth,
I went tonight too.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I mean, that's the night to go to.
Well, I kind of figured. I said not after watching. We decided we knew that we all wanted to see Roman. Roman was going to be on night two. I wasn't really interested in seeing the tag team match live,
Fuck that.
which I thought it was better on television because of all the all the things you could not hear in the event, but you heard on television during what The Rock was saying.
Yep.
Yeah,
Exactly.
the one thing I'll give night one is Becky and Rhea.
That was good. Well, Sammy and Gunther. I'm still gonna say that was.
Yeah, that was a fucking epic match. But Gunther has a lot of good WrestleMania matches. Well, two.
Yeah.
He's got that one in the triple threat. It's fucking amazing. But all right. The first match on our Raw that we're talking about is Io Sky and Dakota Kai Damage Control against Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. And this tag match has been getting a lot of acclaim online. And, there's a lot of people. Liv Morgan gets busted open the hard way. It's not a blade job. It's not a blood bag. It's, real human contact. She was being used as a fucking battering ram. Fucking Raquel turned into Cesaro real quick. Started swinging her around.
It's funny. So they did this match. Well, they did Kyrie and Io versus Liv and Raquel like a couple months ago, and the match was kind of a clunker. Kind of sucked. But you put Dakota in there instead of Kyrie, even though I think Kyrie's actually a better worker than Dakota. I don't know. Like, this match was a shit ton better than a couple months ago when it was Kyrie and not Dakota.
Yeah. Well, I think Dakota's a little smoother. Kyrie and Io both, and I love them both. I think they're both great characters and great in the ring, but they both are a little botchy. Like they both fuck shit up a few times, and you can tell. And I know they hate it when we use the word botch and we like mistakes because we don't really know. But when she goes,
hate it so much, don't invent the fucking term.
Exactly, and also, I'm sorry, and maybe I don't know it. I just don't get the psychology of it. But when she goes to jump on the rope and falls on her ass, I kind of take that as, oh, she just fell on her ass and she didn't mean to do that. Why would that be in the match? like I just take it as that's okay. That's what just happened. Okay.
Yeah. Real quick, I do want to mention, as part of the releases the other day, Sonya Deville, who apparently her contract is up at the end of the month, and it was rumored that she was basically told that, hey, we're not going to renew your deal. Well, then it apparently came out. She apparently came out and said, no, I told them I didn't want to resign. And then Shayna went on X the other day and said, oh, cool, Damage Control, they keep getting hurt, but yet they keep getting these opportunities. I guess Zoe and I should be more fragile. So all's not well with with the Pure Fusion Collective.
Yeah, I agree. And like, I mean, what did you want out of that though? That was never going to be a big thing. That trio was never going to do anything. Like, what did you want out of that?
I want to know. I can't stand any of them.
Exactly. So, I mean, at the end of the day, like, what do you want them to do?
Exactly.
Like, I mean, They tried to push you. It didn't work. It's not working.
Well, Sonya Deville sucks.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
gone now. I mean,
How many people is it? How many people got released?
like 11. Yeah, like 11 people get released.
Yeah.
No big names.
Did you
No,
throw
I
him
didn't.
out?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
He left. I was just muting background noise.
Ah.
But no,
Taking charge.
get your face in the camera. There you go. That's how you take charge.
There you go.
This match was very heavy headed and it was pulling an Eric on me. But it was a great match. I've said my critiques of Raquel in the past. I even thought she played a really good big woman in this, and she was the muscle of the whole match, and I thought she did good in that role. Liv is a constant professional. Io and Dakota, they can fucking go.
Yeah.
So I really, it was hard hitting. It was high flying. There was a lot to it.
Probably a 4-7.
I would not go that high. I would give it.
Well, I already did, so.
I give it a 4-2.
I'll give it a 3-9.
Racist.
Against who? I don't know. Well, just felt right.
Yeah.
Then we get another women's match. Right after that, what do we get? Lyra Valkyria.
Which this match actually got shit on.
Versus Bailey. And the winner gets in the women's elimination chamber.
Why did he get shit on? I thought it was a
Well,
good match.
because the asshole that writes for WrestleZone, he's like, I didn't like this match. Like, this match was too clunky. And it's just like, so is your wife.
These two can go. I would love to see feud between these two. I thought it was a perfectly good match. Maybe I'm just a biased Bailey fan, but
well, yeah, we've seen you be biased on these programs, so it's kind of hard.
It wasn't last Saturday.
No, you were not. Although I think last Saturday you were just trying to prove a point that you could be unbiased. After we kept
You're not wrong.
That's a first. After we kept pointing out how biased you were being, so you're just like, all right, well, I'm going to prove I'm not biased.
Yeah, which is fine.
I mean, this match didn't suck in my opinion.
There was a few spots where it's just like, yeah, but then like they really pick it up at the end.
Lyra doesn't do it for me anyway.
These two can go.
You got babyface versus babyface though.
Yeah, which is hard to do.
It's not doing either of them that many favors. So I would give this a 2-3, but I do think both women worked their ass.
I mean, I would go 2-7.
I'll go 3-5.
Okay. Then we get the return of the phenomenal one who, like I said about the hot crowd, I remember sometimes when he, like, during his championship reign, when he's a babyface, where, he'd be wrestling and the crowd's like, woo. but today, fucking last night, dude, oh my God, were the people there for the phenomenal one?
They love him.
AJ Styles fan
in Nashville.
It made my fucking and Nashville makes sense, but he got such a fucking huge pop. Everybody loved him, and I was fucking loving it as an AJ fan. Made my heart full. So when he was like, "My heart, so I could explode right now," I'm like, "Me too, Bob."
I remember meeting the guy. Remember that, Doug?
Yeah, and I like not putting him in the main event title scene right away, and I like keeping him away from all the Punk stuff and the Roman stuff for right now, and giving him Dominic Mysterio. Like, because Dom's a guy who's only put on good shit. He's been a part of good storylines, and as a bad guy, he's been fun. So it's fun seeing him fucking, he's going to get his ass kicked, but it's fun seeing him fucking, one-on-one with AJ Styles,
You think it's leading to Finn Balor at Mania?
Probably Dominic and Finn, yeah.
No, I thought Finn and AJ.
No.
Okay.
I think they've done that enough.
There was a big stare down between AJ. Well, they pulled AJ in a few different directions last night. They had him walk past You know, Tiffany Stratton's, well, I guess you could say man, but I don't think there's a package there. You had him walk past Kaiser. You had him go face to face with Braun Breaker, and you had him do the stuff with Dom.
Yep.
Well, and that's what's great about WWE now is they plant all these different seeds to where they can go back to something later. Like, hey, you were taking a shit next to me and you didn't wipe. I remember that. So stuff like that they can do. And you can have a guy walking backstage. And I like how they do that with dynamic camera shots. It's just them walking and then they're like, oh, hey, what's up? And they get in a little conversation with this guy. But then it's not over. Then they move on to the next thing. And I like that they do that. It's really cool, riveting television. I enjoy that.
It's the same thing with Pina.
AJ and now Breaker's done a face-off with AJ and Penta. And both of those are great Intercontinental title WrestleMania options.
Do you think they'll bring back the Intercontinental title ladder match that they did for a couple of years in a row?
They could, but I don't
That would
want
be
it.
awesome.
I don't want it.
That was two different opinions right there. Because, like,
I don't like any car crash match that gets everybody on the card. I feel like it's always meaningless.
well, the first year it wasn't as meaningless
The first
because
Money in the Bank was amazing and special and different.
yeah. Well, like when they did the first Intercontinental ladder match, the one that Daniel Bryan won, even though I think he knew that he was going to have to give up the title right after because he, his neck was bad.
Yeah.
But then, like the next year, when they gave it to Zack Ryder because they didn't want KO to keep it, they didn't want to give it to fucking, they didn't want to give it to Sami Zayn, so they gave it to Zack Ryder. But then the next day, because Maurice was available to go back on the road, which I don't know why you want to put a French bulldog back on the road.
They took that moment from Zach.
Yeah, which sucked.
That was a good moment for him, though.
It was a great moment that should not have ended. Like they and I get it. Yeah, well, actually, no, I don't get it because I'm not big into cows, but like it's all right. Yeah, Maurice is available to come back on the road. So what? She's useless.
All right, let's move on.
I mean, just like Miz is proven to be nowadays useless. He had his resurgence. Now he sucks again.
That I can agree on.
I think he's doing fine underneath.
I think Cleneth finally realized that he wasn't on air anymore.
I knew I was right there,
He knows what's going on, Doug, you asshole.
but I was dying. I need something to eat.
I feel you, man. Sustenance is important.
So is eating.
We're talking about AJ and the big return. The crowd went nuts for him, but we're really talking about him matching up with Dominic Mysterio right now and our thoughts on that. I'm for it. We all seem to be for it. You don't need to push him into the main event right away now that AJ's back. Let him do something with Dom. Dom's had a good run, and he needs something new after all this live stuff. What do you think, Cleneth?
Well, I find it interesting. I think it's going to be a good test for Dom to back him up with AJ Styles.
That's
A very good test to see where Dom really stands and if he can really step up to the next level where his character, yes, but his in-ring skills, we're going to see now. Because AJ's no joke.
That's a great point, Cleneth. That's a hell of a point. Because it's basically, that's the only thing the kid's missing is a 5-star match.
Yeah.
He's got everything else. He is a superstar. Great heel, great reactions, charismatic as fuck. The way he handles himself and the way he walks and talks and the mullet and everything about him, that character of Dom Mysterio is elite. Exactly. Dom and Logan. I think Logan gets more heat from who he is as a person, though, to be completely honest.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of people that just don't like Logan Paul. Not saying I don't really like the term go away heat because I think any heat's good heat. But I do think that's more people just not liking Logan Paul. But, it's still cool. Logan's been doing well, and we'll talk about him later. But Dom, yeah, he gets the heat. And he is a great character. The only thing missing from that character, Cleneth, you're right, is a really great match. is a really good. We can't. None of us can be like, "What's the best Dom match?" That one. We can't do that. His match with his father was good. Like he's had good matches. He's had all right matches. And it's not like his work sucks. He's pretty good in the ring, but he doesn't have that classic that anybody can like look at and be like, "Oh, Dom fucking lit it up that night." And him and AJ have the possibility to do
And
that.
you know that he doesn't have like that heat to where like people hate his guts, because there's that video going around of him signing all that stuff for that little girl.
Oh yeah.
Where like she has the figure and then she has the poster.
And that's what I'm saying. The difference between him and Logan is I think people hate the character of Dom Mysterio and might like think the guy's still okay. Whereas I don't think it's the character of Logan Paul.
No,
that's getting
like
booed.
you're not like you're going and you're giving Dom stuff to sign.
Yeah.
You're gonna go up to Logan Paul, you're gonna throw your poop at him.
Yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of, and like he's doing great. He's good heel. Keep it up. I'm not, even though I do think he gets his, pecker wanked a little too much, because yes, has he learned quicker than maybe anybody ever? But
Why were you pointing at me when you were talking about getting a pecker wanked?
I mean, the fact you took it that way should explain all it needs to explain. But
Wow.
I don't wank Logan Paul's pecker.
Yogan, but
Brotherly love for the next episode.
You're gonna make me spit
I'm
my
more of a
soda
Theo
out
Vaughn
on
guy.
live.
I'm just saying he's done some good stuff, and I do like his work. And he's even pretty good on the microphone when the crowd will let him talk. But he's had so much, like, how many other new guys have gotten fucking one-on-one time with Shawn Michaels for 3 months before they get to have a match? Like, how many, like, he's getting the superstar treatment that he deserves, because he is a superstar walking into this world. He deserves that treatment. But he's getting that
I'm more
treatment.
of a George Janko guy.
Okay. But that's a deep cut. If you're just a wrestling fan, you're like, what the fuck? But yeah, I think that Logan, there is something there, and he's good. But people blow him a little too much, because he's like, and me at first I was like, put the world title on him. Like I'm even guilty of that. But I do think that like he's good, he's not great, and he's not the top of the top. We have the top of the top, and even like the top heels, Gunther and Braun Breaker are miles ahead of him, in my opinion. He's good, and he can do some shit. He's athletic, he's good promo, but Braun Breaker's way more believable than that ring boil. Braun Breaker's way more. When Braun Breaker gets in that motherfucker, I get way more pumped up than when Logan Paul gets in it. And I mean, you got some Drew, like you got some big heels. Like when he talks about being the top 3 or 4, it's more like the top 14 or 15, buddy. It's like he is not the biggest star in the company.
Yeah.
As far as, wrestling wise, pop culture wise, yeah. And there's some people that would only watch it for Logan. So that's what he brings to the product. So that's important. But I do think he can be a bit overrated nowadays.
Yeah.
I need to see a little more before I'm willing to suck him like everybody else does.
Some people just love to watch it. To watch him get his brains beat out.
Yeah, that's the point. He's got that punchable face, and he's a great heel. And yeah, that is the point. But
I like him better than his brother. I'll say that.
Yeah.
I think he's more likable than his brother. That's not saying much, but
Well, because his brother has Logan's got the puntable face. Jake's got the hit you in the shovel, hit him with the shovel face.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. They're both whatever. But I think they're both very talented at what
I mean, I'd like to hit his mother with a shovel for giving birth to those two assholes.
the 2 Ohio boys.
That doesn't excuse
I was about
him.
to say, not that we have any relation.
That's a little
doesn't
extreme, don't you think?
Miz is an Ohio guy, and he fucking sucks.
Hey, another Dolph Ziggler, one of your favorites.
I hate the state of Ohio. Actually, no, I shouldn't say that, because friend of the show, John Horton, Craig Johnson, he lives in Cincinnati right now. Great guy. Other than that, Moxley sucks. Miz sucks.
Well, at least we'll keep legends on the podcast. But if anybody wants current interviews, you might have to go to Chris Van Vliet. All right.
We should get him on the show.
Chris?
Yeah.
I think he's too busy doing his own show.
Yeah.
World Tag Champions, the War Raiders against the Creed brothers. American made. This ends in DQ.
Just so we get another match.
Julius attacked them with the belt. I thought there was good action within this. I think these boys are getting better and better, and I think the heel coat of paint that they put on them and them being the muscle for Gable and American Made, it's a perfect fit for those two guys. That Butch is hilarious. Butch has the charisma. Brutus, Butch, whatever the fuck. Butchus. He's got the charisma. I don't know what Julian has yet, or Julius, but he's not bad. I do see a lot in Brutus, though. I see a lot in him. That young man has got a lot of fucking. Reminds me of me out there, like an in shape me.
I was gonna say, are you guys the Creed brothers of podcasting?
We might be. I mean,
I am not like lanky like Julius. I have as much charisma as he does.
No, I think you're not more. I mean, I would not call you dry at all.
Well, that's only just because I'm always pissing myself.
Yeah, but besides that, these two guys are getting better. The War Raiders have really, now that they stopped making them dress up as Vikings, they're actually getting over. The people are fucking with them. It's worked out extremely, and I think the War Raiders doing their shit. That Raw tag division is a lot more exciting than the SmackDown one.
Yes, because you got New Day, you got Creed brothers, you got them, you got Judgment Day.
Yeah. So, no offense to the Guns and DIY and Pretty Deadly, but
in the Street Profits, like those are like 4 quality teams almost, but
yeah, on paper you would think SmackDown was better.
Yeah, but you watch it. Watch it and try to get to that third hour and then tell me it's better. When you're fighting, when you're like just trying to keep the eyes open for Jimmy.
Yeah, which we have failed the last 4 weeks, by the way.
Yeah. And I blame the Guns. I blame DIY. To put me to sleep, man. And not in a GTS. I do. Yeah, the Raw tag division is a lot hotter, in my opinion. Not even that they have more teams to work with. It's just better shit. And I think the matches have been better. Like that War Raiders, I mean, fucking JD McDonough almost put himself into the ground for us.
Yeah.
So, I mean, those guys are really
better storylines on Raw.
Yeah. I do like people that say Raw is straight better than SmackDown. I do have a couple arguments for that because I think Cody has always kept SmackDown seeming like the hot show and the A show. And and Kevin Owens always has good shit. Now you got Drew over there. Now you got Alexa. Now you got Damian.
Yeah,
and you already had, KO once Randy comes back. Like
and Charlotte.
SmackDown still got stars and they got good shit going on. But I would agree, especially with Raw going to Netflix, a lot of focus has been on Raw being good lately.
Yeah. I think it'll even out after WrestleMania.
Yeah. Unless they fucking send Cody over to Raw, because the news is that's what they want to do.
Which could happen. If Netflix wants it, they'll get it.
And that cements it. No offense to Gunther, but if you put that World Heavyweight title on SmackDown and you got the WWE Undisputed Championship with Cody on Raw, you know which one's the A show and which one's the B show.
I remember when, right before SmackDown went to Fox, but they knew they were going to Fox, they put Roman Reigns over on Raw in on SmackDown in 2019, and USA Network got pissed because it's like, wait a minute, you guys, he's going to be on SmackDown. You guys SmackDown's going to Fox. No way. You fuckers better put him back on Raw. So that's when they did the whole 3 superstars from Raw and 3 superstars from SmackDown can be on both shows.
Yeah.
It's 3 and 3 or whatever. And it was so stupid, but it was basically USA basically saying, give us what we fucking want.
Yeah, fuck you guys.
And then, a few months later, Vince is just like, well, we gave you what you want for 6 months. Now go fuck yourselves. Roman's on Raw.
Well, and that's the crazy thing about wrestling and business, that because those guys just see the stars and they just see the numbers. So, like, even Netflix is like, I'm buying Cody Rhodes, I'm buying Roman Reigns, I'm buying CM Punk, I'm buying all this equity. And in reality, Triple H can be like, nope, you're buying fucking the LWO, you're buying fucking Karrion Kross. Like, he could flip it.
But I think Raw is already star heavy because you have Seth, you have Cody, you have AJ, you have.
Raw has a plethora of stars.
They don't need Cody.
They don't need Cody. SmackDown desperately needs Cody.
Yeah, they have Cody and Roman.
Still on track.
Yeah.
And you have other good shit like Jacob Fatu, because he's the top heel. Jacob Fatu is doing great shit developing on SmackDown.
We lost Cleneth again.
He'll be back. SmackDown's still a must-watch show for those reasons. And I'm not just hyping it up because we're going. There's reasons to watch SmackDown.
Yeah.
But let's move on to Punk in the ring, in the promo, and the big deal here. And he gets interrupted by Logan Paul. What did you think of Punk's promo? Has this? Before my blanket question to both of you, is this let's get Cleneth out here. Cleneth, we're talking about the Punk promo. I'm gonna ask a blanket question. I just want a response from you guys. Is what Punk has done in the past year in WWE, is that one of the greatest comebacks in wrestling history?
Yeah.
I think this outdoes the AEW.
Oh, 100%. But that's what I mean. I feel like his stock got worse in AEW and fell like to where it's like, do we even want to see him? And then fucking what he's done this year, and he's right back to the tippy top. And it's right back to Punk and main event WrestleMania. And fucking he's one of the biggest stars in the company. And for WWE. And he's putting on great. He just had feud of the year was him and Drew. Match of the year, a lot of people think was him and Drew in the Hell in a Cell. Like, he's been doing great shit, great Rumble performances. Even getting hurt with that setback, he came back even better. Like, I think this has to be considered one of the better comebacks ever in wrestling, especially from a top guy like that.
Yeah.
And that's why I said earlier, I think Punk is going to win the Chamber, because I think the audience wants Punk to win the championship more than Cena.
Well, I don't know. Like, if they're voicing their opinions, because obviously Triple H is willing to be like, okay, if you don't like the way this is gonna, if you don't like what we're building here, I'll pivot.
Yeah.
Now, like, he listened to the 70,000 in Indianapolis more than he listened to the assholes, crying on their keyboards at home. And he went with Jey Uso, but he's a guy, and you have to be willing to do that. You have to be willing to pivot.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll never blame him for that. You got to, at the end of the day, your biggest gauge and your biggest, because pay-per-view buys is great, but that model's also different now because of Peacock and stuff.
Yep.
A lot of their business is coming from the gates and coming from the people that go there. You got to listen to them more than anybody else, because a lot of those internet guys aren't even real. They're fucking bots or fucking people that have so much hatred in their hearts, or like
that they created like 7 accounts.
Yeah, skewed opinions. Just
Trolls.
Like the internet is the wrong place to go for actual opinions if you're the WWE.
The internet and the show.
Yeah. For anything pro wrestling.
Yes, but listening to the crowd, and you still need to filter it. When you see Cody giving Rock the main event match on SmackDown getting the most dislikes on YouTube, you have to look. You do have to look at shit like that. You do have to still pay attention to the internet. But I like that Triple H really listens to the crowd and the audience and the people there. You don't get a lot of them turning on shit like you used to. That crowd used to fucking, we talked about how controlling a crowd last week and running a crowd, fucking, they do it flawlessly now. To whereas before, like, we've seen The Fiend and Seth Rollins in the Hell in a Cell. We've seen fucking, Eugene and Triple H. We've seen the crowd not react the way WWE wants them to react in that moment. And they haven't been doing it lately. Lately, they've been loving everything they've been given. So,
yep. Because Triple H knows how. Triple H's been there. He knows the ups and downs of the crowd.
I think Punk or Cena, to me, it's a toss-up, and either choice is great.
Can you do a triple threat? Is there any world you do a triple threat?
You could. I really think they're going to go Cena and Cody, and they're going to save Punk for Rollins and Roman and all that stuff. I think that's going to be like the co-main, and that's the big money match, and maybe you bring Drew and maybe you don't, but that triple threat is going to happen. Those three guys are going to be involved, Seth, Roman, and Punk. That sequence we saw at the Rumble isn't going to just go away.
Oh, hold on a second. I have a theory, and just follow me here.
Can I finish the 1 point first? I think John Chase in 17 makes the most sense.
Yeah. All right. What if we get Roman, Punk, Rollins, Drew, night 1? The winner moves on to night 2 and joins Cena and Cody in a triple threat.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
So both nights
But
are
Cena didn't earn his way into the chamber. He just put himself
that
there.
match can't be a main event match though, because
Well, let me. All right, I have a rebuttal.
Go ahead.
So you saying that, but suppose who wins? Because we all know Punk has that favor in his back pocket. Meaning, I think either way you look at it, I think Punk's going to wind up in the main event picture no matter what happens in this fatal 4-way.
what's WWE's reasoning for putting it on other than these three guys are really popular and the biggest stars? What storyline reason do they have to do that?
What storyline reason do they have to do that?
Yeah, because they just make that fight through the Rumble in the Chamber and do all this stuff to get to WrestleMania. Why do these three guys get the triple threat to make it? Cena fought his way through the Chamber. Why these guys?
Basically, just to like have.
It's wrestling, so you can make it work. But
yeah,
I'm just saying, like, how are they going to present that?
I don't know. That's for them to figure it. Yeah. That's for them to figure it out. I just threw the idea out there.
I think because Cena didn't earn his way into the Chamber, they're going to argue that.
And they did. Well, I mean, Roman didn't. Roman's selling fucking pimple on the back of the neck or whatever.
Punk did last night. Kind of.
Yeah, Roman even in the Chamber?
No. They're going to keep Roman out till WrestleMania, I think.
That blows. Because that could have been a stacked fucking Chamber.
So
Roman, Punk, and Cena in the same.
I mean, that could be like what that could be something. All right, so Cena comes out after winning the Chamber and says, I earned my way. I'm going to get there. And then, one by one, you have all the guys come out and you have all the guys come out and say, well, you didn't earn your way into the Chamber just because you've been here for, 23 fucking years doesn't mean you should get entry into the Elimination Chamber. You were in Budapest filming a movie. So you didn't earn it. We did. And then afterward, and then like they all like have their grievances or whatever, and then Pierce or Nick Aldis or whoever says, all right, fine. You four, Rollins, Punk, Reigns, McIntyre, are going to fight in a fatal 4-way. Whoever wins can join John and Cody in the main event. Yeah. So they can whine and bitch and complain about how Cena's getting his own fucking way. Because again, I think it's bullshit. I think it's bullshit that he's not there. You committed. You said you were going to be in WWE that whole year. You have been on 2 shows.
Logan's been on Raw.
All right. You have been on 2 fucking shows. All right. Because you picked up a movie role at the last fucking minute. Fuck off. Get your ass back to where you said you were going to be. You balding fuck.
Imagine that statement from that.
Yeah. You bald spot motherfucker. And fucking go back. Keep your fucking promise. Just because you couldn't keep your promise that you were going to marry Nikki Bella doesn't mean you can't keep your fucking promise.
Well,
that you made to all
time
these
out,
fucking
time out, time
people.
out. She get it right. Bella broke the engagement. He did not. She broke it off.
Yeah, you're usually all ready to talk shit about Nikki and that.
Yeah, well, trust me, the fact that I'm sticking up for her, Cleneth, just go with it, or else I'm going to call her a 5-letter word in about 5 seconds.
Oh,
Nikki's Cleneth's girl, so.
Graceful?
No, it starts with a W.
But
like,
Speaking of Nikki, she sucks
just
on
because
Twitter.
don't speak of Nikki, you son of a bitch. But just because you can't keep your word that you're gonna fucking marry somebody and you string them along for 6 years just because they're great sex doesn't fucking mean that you can fucking string along the people that you promised you were gonna be on every single fucking Raw for the year that 2025 you were fully committed to WWE, but some stupid fucking hot wheels fucking movie role or whatever the fuck it is in Budapest open up. They're like, oh, well, I'm going to break my promise. Fuck you. Get your ass back to the company if you feel like you need to fucking earn this. You haven't earned shit. You have earned me talking shit about you just now. That's the only thing you fucking earned.
John, if you're watching this, I'm a big fan. Me, Eric, Cleneth, love you. If you ever want to fly us out anywhere, if you want to forget, I mean, I get it. It's all right, John. No, there might be more to it than we actually know as fans. It's kind of hard, but I totally understand. And
I understand what
fans
Doug's
that are
saying.
a little disappointed that thought he was going to be around more often. I get it. Do I think that he deserves to declare, yeah, it's John Cena? He can say he's going to do whatever he wants.
I should punch you in the balls.
Well, dude, I had your back. I'm just saying that fucking he does have that right. He's John fucking Cena. If Randy Orton came back and was like, hey, I'm in the chamber, bitch, I'm not qualified.
It's like when that MMA flop Ronda Rousey came back or like came in and her and Shayna said, oh yeah, we're going to be in that WrestleMania women's tag team showcase because I'm Ronda Rousey. You haven't done fucking shit. All right. Your arm, like you have an arm injury that's not cleared, but they want you on WrestleMania. And you basically said they're like, all right, well, we'll work WrestleMania, but I have to win, even though I can't fucking work. You ugly fucking bitch. All right.
You don't like these people have these stars having their way.
What happened to remember Happy Doug at the beginning?
Yeah, no. Right, I took off just to get some food, and now I'm stuck with Angry Doug.
Yeah, and
maybe I can get some more food.
God damn it. If you wouldn't have left, I wouldn't have started feeling this way.
Me.
There's a pattern here. Are we almost done?
I hope so. No, that was beautiful. That's going to be a short too. Who were you just talking? Who'd you call a whore, or did you call somebody a dumbass?
I think
I called Ronda Rousey an ugly bitch.
Oh, an ugly bitch. Okay.
I did want to talk about Penta a little bit.
She's not an MMA flop. That's the one thing I will say. WWE.
Yeah, no, she's not.
WWE.
She's a UFC legend, and I don't, and I'm one that hates her.
WWE flop, bad wrestler, could not get the hang of it. One good tag match because she got carried by some of the best, and that's it. WWE flop, 100%.
Yeah.
MMA flop, no. MMA very good.
She's a legend. Yeah, I don't like her either, but I can admit
one of the first goats of the women's, and like.
Well, yeah, she looks like a goat.
There's a lot of people that like I put Nunez over her, but she's still. I mean, Ronda paved the fucking way in that sport.
Yeah, she paved the way for women's division. There's no Ronda Rousey. There's no Amanda Nunez without.
No, she's the first female star for them.
Yeah, exactly.
She was like as big as McGregor at one point. Like,
Yeah,
definitely
there's
not
no
a
Amanda Nunez without Ronda.
exactly. But as far as WWE, she can kick fucking rocks. I'm glad she's gone. She's like, I'm never coming back. Good. Like she's
Get back.
not a fan. Never liked her work. I tried to, and I just couldn't.
I remember her debut in Philadelphia.
What do we think about Logan brushing shoulders with Punk after the elimination? I don't think they're going in this direction for WrestleMania, but they seem to be
SummerSlam.
setting something up. I don't know if it's further down the line or just an elimination chamber.
I mean, they're probably gonna fight each other in elimination chamber.
100%. But
Yeah.
I don't think they'll go him and Logan for WrestleMania. I don't think they'll do that. And him and Logan's got heat, and he fucking and his promo was pretty good. He does not have a bad promo. When you go up against somebody like that, though, to me, just the standard douchebaggery isn't enough. And that's the other reason, like the overrated thing I was talking earlier. Good mic work, but it wasn't great mic work. Good Rey Mysterio match, but it wasn't a great Rey Mysterio match. It was good, and it was enough, and it was even like it was solid. Like I would give it a fucking him and Rey. Well, we'll get to the ratings, but it was a good fucking match. But it didn't blow my socks off. And just like his promo, when you're going up against, it's Rock, Punk, Piper. Whatever order you want. I'm not putting Rock in front of that. I'm just saying it's those three. Rock, Punk, Piper. The three greatest to ever talk. And you can have your other favorites, and there's so many great promos throughout the bit. But the top of the top, the three greatest to ever fucking speak into a microphone are those three, in my opinion. And
who did you say, Punk?
Punk, Piper, and Rock. Roddy Piper and The Rock. And if I was going four, I'd put Nate right after that. But yeah, it's those three.
Is Jericho top 5 for you?
Top 10.
Good.
He's good, and he's done a lot of cool shit, and I even like the stuff nobody likes. Like, I'm a wizard. I like that because I'm a wizard. But
he's a wizard.
But he's a bed wizard. But no, I wouldn't put him in the top 5 or nothing. I think it's those four, and then if we had to go for a 5 as far as on the mic,
awesome.
Steve was very good.
Or Dusty.
Yeah.
You could go either way. Either of those two I'd be fine with. But that's the best ever talk. So when you're going up against a guy like Punk, who his microphone works better than his in-ring work. He is the hype of CM Punk, and everything is when he has the fucking microphone. So you got to kind of be better than just good. And I thought Logan was just good. I thought it was standard douchebaggery, and I knocked you out of the Rumble, bruh. I thought it was shit like that. It was pretty cool, and it was all right. And Punk's response was like, yeah, but you got to get past one of the greatest to ever do it, and then maybe I'll fucking knock your teeth down your throat. Like I thought that was a cool response, but Logan, I don't think he really had the promo chops and it's not like this was just a little setup before his match with Ray. So it's not like they needed to go back and forth for fucking 15 minutes and Logan needed to shred him a new asshole. I'm just saying it was just kind of standard Logan stuff with Punk, who's arguably the best to ever talk on the mic. And then we get a pretty good Logan and Ray match with a new finisher, the Impaler.
They called it the Pulverizer.
Okay, the Pulverizer. So there you go. That's a great fucking move. And him and Ray, and I like the titanium punch too. I think, I mean, it was a good worked match between two athletic guys. Even an old Ray can go any day of the fucking week. And Logan's athletic enough to go with him. And they have the chemistry from the SummerSlam match. It was SummerSlam, right?
Crown Jewel.
Crown Jewel is when he took the title off him?
Yeah.
Okay. So the Crown Jewel match. But it was good, but it, like I said, there's been better Raw main events in the Netflix era so far. That isn't the best main event that we've seen. Closing the show with Logan Paul and everything I didn't hate, but And like I thought it was good to get him over as like a young star that's going to kill it here, but it's still I would only give it a out of 5. I give it a 3-2.
I'd say about 3-4.
I'll go 3-1. Yeah.
I will say I'll give it a 3 as well.
All right.
Can we talk about?
Go ahead.
Can we talk about Penta a little bit?
Make it snappy.
I just want to know what your guys' opinion on what direction they're going with him.
Well, I said it on
back
the.
with done last night. Yes, last week.
Yeah, I don't like him dealing with. I mean, Doug went fucking 30 minutes on the last episode about it, but I don't like him going back to Pete Dunne and Kaiser. He beat them both clean.
Exactly.
He beat them both. I mean,
It wasn't a roll up. It was the arm thing.
Yeah,
and then the finish, and then you're done. Like Chad Gable is one thing because he's going and he's trying to find like a fucking shaman or whatever the fuck.
I don't mind seeing him and Chad run it back. I agree with you on that. That would be cool.
Because Chad's trying to find a way to fucking, find a way to beat the luchadors.
Could they do tag team with him and Ray versus New Day?
They could do it. I want to keep him away from it.
He doesn't need to be in the LWO.
I don't want him even around it. Even if they say he's not.
No, I just say that because Ray got beat up at the end of the show last night. He's gonna need a tag team partner.
Well, put a mask on George Kittle and have him fucking team with Ray.
Yeah. I mean, I would like to see Penta. Like I said, I like the idea of Penta and Braun Breaker. If you could get there from now to WrestleMania, if you could get to that, I think that would be cool. And I think he needs to keep I like the trajectory they had him in. I like those were 3 great starting opponents and 3 great starting matches for him. But now let's move on to something else. Let's do a fucking. I mean,
AJ versus Penta.
I mean, Balor eliminated him from the Rumble. Do him and Balor.
Do him and Cross. If you can do a match.
Or him and Carlito. Like, have him beat Carlito, then have him beat Balor.
That man is gold. Carlito is the MVP.
Well, I'm just saying is that, like, you can get a match out of Carlito.
Yeah, I would love it. Anything to get more Carlito on the TV would be awesome.
Yeah. I mean, call-ups, they released a bunch of people to make room for NXT call-ups. Now, they released a bunch of people. The people that they released were all mostly useless, except for they got rid of 2 great asses in Isla Dawn and Elektra Lopez. Like, they shouldn't have done that.
Wait, you gave me grief earlier about talking about.
Doug's allowed to be a horn dog, but nobody else. Isla Dawn was good in the ring too, and I thought she was the better half. I like her better than Alba.
Well, I'm actually going off of public opinion because the one group chat that I'm in for this fantasy wrestling thing that I do, all they did was bitch about Elektra and Isla getting released, not because of their talent, but because of their tushies.
They got talented tushies. All right, boys, let's give the show a rate. Yeah, I'd like to see Penta do other stuff. As far as a name, I'd like to get to Braun Breaker, like I said. If you could,
I'd like to see him in AJ.
He can beat up New Day too. I'd be cool with a couple different avenues, but him messing around with the people he just beat, I don't necessarily love. Final thoughts on the show in its own and a rating out of 10. Eric, hit us.
I thought it was a solid show. Probably not the best of the 5 or 6 we did already. The matches were good.
Many of these.
I thought the matches were solid. No bad match on the show. The promos were okay, and I liked the segment with what happened with Braun and not Braun, Jay and Gunther. So I give this show a 7 out of 10.
All right. Cleneth?
Ah, man. The stuff with Jay announcing that he will be facing Gunther for WrestleMania, I did love. The eating, of course, great. Rey Mysterio, and Logan Paul was a okayer. The Rhea situations I'm enjoying a lot with. But overall, I do say I will give the show a 6.5.
Yeah, I think it was this was one of those Raws that like I don't like it when people try to say that this era is straight really good talking, really good promos and really good like backstage stuff from the big stars and then just like mid-card matches. But that's kind of what this one was.
Yeah.
Logan and Ray didn't feel like a big deal like a lot of the other big Raw main events. So yeah, I would give this one a 6 too. I enjoyed it, but there's been better Raws, and I think there was not that there was filler on this one,
Just
but
feel fat a little bit.
yeah, there was a couple matches like Bailey and Lyra didn't do much for me, and there's a couple. The tag match was the one to go back and watch if you want to watch anything. But
This is Raw I want to go back and watch. Okay.
yeah, it was decent, but it wasn't anything special in my view. Doug sent us home.
Really good tag match, really good opening segment. When Jay finally stopped eating, there was some good stuff on here, but it's not one of those like they've done better on Netflix.
Yeah.
So I'd say 6.5.
Okay. All right, everybody, check out the cartoon show on Saturday.
Yep.
It's going to be Thundercats, Samurai Pizza Cats,
Garfield
and Friends.
I think I know what theme this one is.
The Cat League. This is the Cat League battle. Samurai Pizza Cats, Thundercats, Heathcliff, and Garfield and Friends. Trying to load up the chat room so we could get a lot of judges in there, so it can make it a big score and really throw things off kilter.
Oh yeah.
And then this is league number 8. So we're getting there, league 8 out of 10, and then soon the single elimination tournament's going to start. Luckily there was nothing in that cup. And so things are getting really good over at the cartoon, When Toons Combine, the Cartoon Classic.
Yep.
So check that out. Check out Royal Rumble rankings part D this week on the Wrestling Through the Years main show on Friday. Cleneth will be joining us again, and we will be doing a Royal Rumble rankings part. We had a lot of fun last week, so go check out last week's episode and then join us live for this week. It's going to be a lot of fun. We've all been watching a shit ton of Rumbles, so it's going to be
cool. My brother and me and my brother just did a Super Bowl recap. So sorry, Cleneth.
No, I apologize. Like I said, I know these last 2 days are going to be took it out of me, and when I got home, I fell right to sleep.
No worries. I figured you fell asleep.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with being tired.
And check out all of Eric's sports shows. They're phenomenal.
He's been killing it. Like, we have been on such a roll to where like the shows have been very informative. They've been very good. I haven't really had to yell and call Eric an idiot because he hasn't been contributing. I mean, I probably have just yelled at him for the hell of it, but
I think you do it for fun for some reason. I don't think you do it to be mean. I think you just do it to be fun.
Yeah.
And me and Sean are doing a recorded show on Thursday. So.
Oh, you and Sean?
Yeah. We're going to do another reaction video, but those are going to be recorded instead of live.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So watch out for that. Little brother Sean has been doing he's been a nice addition.
Yeah.
Well, at least for the cartoon show.
No, I mean, I like Sean.
Yeah.
Show's been doing great.
Yeah.
Make sure to check out Eric's sports shows and everything else he's
Don't
doing.
forget your staff cast.
Check out the Stabcast this Sunday. Me and Mindy. It's a great time. We're doing Late Night with the Devil this week. If you're a horror fan, check that out. And we'll see everybody next week. Goodbye. Love you guys.
See
Love
ya.
you guys.
Bye.
Cleneth?
Later.
We'll see everybody next time.
All right. Later,
Bye.
guys.